Hey Spidey fans! Welcome back to Comic Frontline fans. You're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do Spidey Classics Volume 2, Episode number 4. That's right, guys. And today, we will be talking about none other than the Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 92. This is when Iceman attacks. This is when Spidey and Iceman do battle. This is the Iceman, where he still had his ice bridge and icicles and not snowballs and stuff. So this was a very classic and iconic issue. Stan Lee is the writer. John Romita is the actual artist. This book was written in 1971. The artwork is awesome in this book. I really love the way Spider-Man looks. Kind of looks like Spider-Man in the most recent Civil War movie. Just love the heavy eyeliner around Gwen's eyes, you know, and she's like this, you know, typical damsel in distress back then, but it was awesome. You gotta love Bobby's actual jacket, his suit and tie. It's like purple, you know, and then you get to see him form into a more traditional Iceman that we've seen over in the previous issues, whether he was on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends or in just maybe some older X-Men comics. He has more of this like cube-like effect to himself, and you can see, yes, that ice bridge that he creates, and more traditional like powers as he throws snowballs or ice blocks at, you know, Spider-Man or whatnot. So really cool looking artwork in this book. It's very nostalgic, just like the last issue I talked about. So what was this story about this time around? Why were Iceman and Spider-Man fighting? So in most recent issue, I think it was issue number 89 or 90, whatnot, Gwen Stacy's father, Captain Stacy, has died, and Gwen Stacy blames Spider-Man for her father's death. And somehow there seems to be hints that Peter Parker and Spider-Man might be related or the same person or whatever case may be. There's been just rumors and things going around. So in the beginning of this particular issue, we wound up seeing Spider-Man break in to Gwen Stacy's apartment, and she's talking to this which we think could be a future district's attorney. And this guy, it kind of like reminds you of like Donald Trump today. He you know, people think he's crooked, he's bad or whatnot, and this guy is. In the issue, he is a bad guy. He has people working for him undercover that does crime and whatnot. But Spider-Man's MO here is to get Gwen Stacy scared of Spider-Man and thinking that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are totally two opposite personalities. Why would Peter ever act this way? So basically, he's out there to actually scare Gwen Stacy. So what happens is Bobby is in the actual area. He's on a date, right? Date, yeah. And what happens, he gets undressed and he turns into Iceman. And so what happens is you wind up seeing this cool battle between Iceman and Spider-Man over Gwen Stacy. And of course, Spider-Man is still trying to intimidate her, and they fight and they do battle, and you see the ice cubes being thrown at him. And kind of when I was reading this book, it reminded me of a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, just without an episode, without Firestar. So I had their voices in my head when I was reading this particular book. It was really good. So again, this whole book is really, you know, the side story here is about this crooked politician who, again, is becoming a DA, and he feels that if they can capture Spider-Man, all the public will be on his side, and he'll become the district's attorney. So he tries to threaten J. Jonah Jameson and Robbie and everybody else, and by the time you wind up getting to the end of this issue, it becomes less and less of the battle of Iceman versus Spider-Man, but they wind up teaming up to stop the crooked politician, and they wind up catching him in his act. And what happens is people bail on him, and no one supports him in the end. And that's basically how the issue really winds up ending off. You can see that they frame him in a like convention. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then the next issue issue number 93 is going to be about the Prowler. So what did I think about this particular issue? I thought it was really good. I thought it was a lot of fun. Kind of, again, reminded me of what's going on in today's politics with this Sam Bullitt guy, the crooked politician trying to get ahead in things. And I thought that was pretty neat. But besides that, I love the iconic feel and classic feel to Iceman. You can see that this is Stan Lee's vision on how he really envisioned Iceman. It's all in his glory right here. The Iceman that we know in the cubicle kind, who uses icicles, not so much snowballs, to defeat him. He doesn't look like a snowball anymore. The ice bridges, and I love just the classic and iconic stuff when it comes to Gwen Stacy, and just the terminology used, and the battles and the fight scenes and the lengthy story and then dialogue, but it makes it for a lot of fun and a nice balance of a story and action in this book. So even though this doesn't have major ramification in Spider-Man's status quo or in his history, it still was a fun book to read, and seeing these guys interact with each other. And what book is not a book without Gwen Stacy in it, the love of his life? So if I gotta rate this one in today's standards, I give it a 3.75 out of 5. I really loved Iceman. He really shined in this book here. So, guys, in the comments below, tell me if you ever read The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 92. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline. And this has been Spidey Classics, Volume 2, Episode number 4. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.